Welcome back to this special edition of Across the Bifrost. This is
breaking news. This is it. Breaking news. There's no time for introductions, Norbert. This is hot off the presses.
Whoa. Hey, I'm being mowed under by a very enthusiastic Jamie. Well, okay, so that's Jamie there. This is Dr. Norbert here. We are apparently in a radio tower transmitting to you live.
Yeah, exactly. If you're across the pond, this episode should get to you in a matter of weeks, thanks to new radio technology.
Yeah, it's got to go by ship. It's this tariff situation. It's bad times. So we're here because you're going to talk first. So I'm going to do the introduction. We are here because of it's an emergency cast because a long-awaited set of updates to characters, but also tactics cards came out tonight, and we want to review them with everybody. We want to direct everybody's attention to the AMG site for the Marvel Crisis Protocol transmissions, where you can find a link to these errata. But importantly, they also did a nice thing, which was demonstrate what all the different changes were in each of the characters. You still kind of have to look at the cards and also look at the old cards to see what they're actually referring to, but at least it gives you a steer as to what to look for.
Yes, exactly. It's a little bit confusing sometimes trying to figure out what's happened.
Right.
And especially AMG seem to have missed a couple parts
that's interesting.
about it. So,
cool.
But it's fine because you've got your good friends Across the Bifrost here to walk you through all the changes, all the things that AMG didn't write about in the article.
Brilliant.
So yeah, we got you covered.
Okay, so there are 5 tactics cards that got changed, and I have to confess I did not read these because I thought they were mostly timing changes, but you have, so why don't you take over from here?
Yes, it's basically a tidy up. So the short version is don't worry about it. Just read the tactics cards as they are. They basically work the same. It's just kind of clarifications of rules and stuff. As the game's getting quite old now, the way they word rules gets a bit, updated and needs tidying up to be clear across cards that some of these cards were released years and years and years ago. So it's just a tidy up really. Slight changes everywhere. Not enough really worth talking about. The Mutant Traitor card now, it used to be that when basically Gambit and Bishop can team up and Bishop can do a big beam, and he ran the risk of being able to hurt himself quite a lot because he could take damage after each attack. Now it's just after the entire attack he might damage himself. So that's a little bit, less dangerous.
Oh, okay. Nice one.
So just lots of little tidy ups. I don't think there's anything worth going into here.
All right, let me just mention them then. So it's 7 Sons of Cinnabus, Vapors of Valtor, Astral Ring. So these are convocation focused type of cards. And then also Magnetic Crush, which I think we talked about before, maybe. I don't remember.
We may have, yeah. It's that infamous card because AMG said that the card exists because they didn't have space to fit it on Magneto's character card himself. So it's like a kind of cool bonus attack from Magneto.
So for all of these, is it just a matter of them working now more or less like they're supposed to and the words reflecting that?
Yeah, basically just a tidy up, yeah.
Okay, cool.
They don't really change in power all that much. They're just a bit tidier now and less, weird.
But to be clear, the tidier just means that it's clearer when things are supposed to happen and so forth on them.
Yeah, the wording on them should match other, tactics cards in the game. So they're easier to understand.
Okay, yeah, because that's what they said in their transmission. It's just all updated for clarity, so nothing changed. Although it seems like Mutant Traitor, that's actually a big change. I mean,
that's pretty
relatively.
Cool. Yeah.
Good for Bishop.
Not the last thing we'll see that's good for Bishop in this.
Hey, foreshadowing. Love it. All right, so then we're on to a slew of characters. There's a lot. I think 12 of them, a dozen characters, maybe more.
I think it's more than that, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of characters got changed. Some got nerfed, some got buffed. It's an exciting time. So Jamie, how should we do this? Should I just mention what it is that they wrote on the transmission, and then you can comment a bit about what you've learned since studying them a little bit more?
Yeah, I think that's right. Before we get started, I'll say one thing just to save me from saying it, for every character. All these new character cards, well, all the new art, they come with new art, the new landscape version, much prettier cards. Patrick Brown, my favorite Marvel Crisis Protocol artist, has made a ton of new character art. So everyone looks... well, not everyone. Everybody looks amazing and much improved, in my opinion, except one character, which we'll get onto. Toad looks a bit weird. But Patrick Brown has really come in and spruced all these up beautifully. I really want to get him on the podcast one day because I'm a big fan.
I would love that. And I'm just looking at the first one. Bullseye, the healthy side looks good, definitely good. But man, the injured side, that is flavor. Whoa.
Yeah, he looks cool, man.
Man, is that good.
Yeah.
All right, so the first one we're looking at is Bullseye. The big change for him is that his throwing knives, which used to be range 4, go down to range 3. Otherwise, he's unchanged.
Yes.
Impact.
Fair. He was the ultimate, back point sitter, just pinging people from range 4. He's still got his kind of trademark ability, which is I never miss.
Mm-hmm.
So he can still guarantee a damage. And the timing on that hasn't changed, which some people maybe thought it would have. So you can still basically, with 0 power, you can do a throwing knife, generate the power, and then spend that on I never miss to guarantee a damage.
That is just his thing, though. If that got removed, it'd be like,
No, exactly. It's his special move. It's his trademark. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's still around. Range 3 just makes him a bit, less
egregious.
Egregious. Yeah, exactly. So still a back point sitter, still does the same job, still as good as he was, but now range 4 means, not having range 4 anymore, maybe means he has to move into range and then make an attack. But he has hit and run, so he can still make the attack and run back to where he was. So he's just less kind of consistent,
Yeah, I think that's right. I think he does exactly what he was doing before, but he doesn't do 2 hits. He does 1 hit, essentially, with it. And let's remember, he's a 2 threat, so that seems okay.
Yeah, he's still got pin cushion as well, which is incredible. Which is still range 4. No cover.
Oh, good point. Very good point.
Rapid fire. Yeah, so that's still exactly the same. So he's completely unchanged, except his gainer throwing knife is range 3, which I think is a very fair tap. I think he's still, the main thing here is he's still probably the best 2 threat attrition piece in the game next to Nebula. He's definitely the best kind of 2-point attrition piece that sits at the back. So that is unchanged.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, that was a nice amuse-bouche for all you working class people out there. And, and then we're going to get into the first serious course of this nice buffet. Or I should say it's like a 7-course plated tasting menu. Yeah, it's a tasting menu. It totally is. And that is Doctor Strange 1. Oh my Lord, they touched Doctor Strange 1. Hooray!
Yeah.
All right, lots going on here. His injured side, the stamina goes up to 7 from 6. His backside remains at 7. So he's 7/7 now. What?
6/7.
Wait. Oh, his injured side. I'm sorry, guys. His injured side goes from 6 up to 7, right? So he's 6 on his healthy side and 7 on his injured side. Bolts of Bedevilment, which is his normal builder, which is an energy attack. The big thing here is that he's got a pierce ability now added to it, which is on a shield, interestingly. Otherwise, it's a normal pierce, so it gets stronger, essentially, and it's a 5 dice attack to begin with. I'll stop there. What do you think about that?
It's cool. I like it. Pierce is fantastic. I play a lot of Pierce characters because I like mutants with knives for hands. Pierce is really good. It's cute that it's on a shield because he also gains power whenever he rolls a shield.
That was going to ask you the purpose of that, making that instead of a wild, let's say. So you think, that's what it is. It's like a double one. Yeah.
It's not a great Pierce because obviously a shield isn't going to give you extra damage. It's kind of like Jean Grey's Pierce, which is on the skull.
That's a good point.
So it's kind of like a half Pierce, because you're lowering your opponent's defense by 1, but you're not necessarily going up by 1 attack.
Mm-hmm.
But at least with Doctor Strange, he likes rolling shields because he's gaining power. So yeah, it's just like a nice little, just a sprinkling of goodness on bolts of bedevilment.
Okay, I like those points though. That's very good, helpful. The other thing that's changed is the Judgment of Vishanti replaced the previous leadership. Okay, so this is important. The previous leadership used to be once per turn, you could spend a power and you could turn your attack type into any type you wanted, physical, energy, or mystic. And if it dealt damage, the target would gain the hex condition. Now, once per turn, after an attack is made, if the attack dealt damage, or if the target character has a threat of 5 or more, the attacking character can use the leadership ability, which puts hex on the target. Now, here's a couple things. First of all, it's a little easier to get the hex on there. So that's number 1. You lose the ability to change the attack type, which is probably okay. It was kind of a fun thing, actually, but I'll give that away to actually guarantee, have more of a guarantee of getting the hex. But what I really like about this is this new mechanic, which foreshadowing does appear elsewhere in this document. This really cool mechanic about the threat level of the target making a difference as to how the leadership acts. I think that's cool.
Interesting, right? It's a new toy. We haven't really seen that before.
No. Maybe that's Ben Ransom again. At it again.
At it again with some new tweaks. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's very interesting. It's a bit of a shame that you can't change attack type now, because I feel like that's what people liked about the old leadership. That's kind of the fun part, right?
Right.
You know, whether it was any good or not, maybe it was up for question. But I feel like that was what it got people excited. You know, I can make Hulk do mystic punches. You know, that's kind of fun. So it's a shame that that's gone. But Hex is no joke. You know, people love Incinerate, right? It's probably everyone's favorite condition to give out, and Hex is just as good in my opinion because it works on attack and defense.
Yeah.
So your opponent isn't adding dice for their crits, so that makes their attacks less potent, makes their defense less good. So it's great, and I think with this leadership, the way it works, by round 3, probably everyone on your opponent's team is going to be hexed, right?
Yeah, because it doesn't cost you power to do it.
Yeah.
And if you choose a 5 or more threat, which exists quite a bit, like Asgard's going to hate this a lot. They have loads of 5 threat characters.
Oh yeah.
And they just automatically get hex.
Yeah.
End of story.
It's also a May. The attacking character may use his leadership. So if you're going into like an apocalypse, who you don't want to give conditions to because he'll heal, you can just choose not to. And if you attack someone that already has hex, you can choose not to use leadership and then put it on the next person that you hit. So it's a May. It's cool. It's good. And it's very thematic as well. You know, a Doctor Strange-led Defenders list is now going to be hexing people. I think that's great. It's a condition you don't see very often.
Yeah. This is definitely going to trigger people trying out Strange Defenders, which is fantastic.
Yeah,
great.
It's great. Yeah.
But there's more.
So it's funny, so quickly on Defenders, both the last 2 big erratas, Defenders have had basically a new leadership given to them, which is quite fun.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Right. So
again, I'm looking at this artwork. You know, healthy side is cool, fine, but the injured side, holy moly, he looks great.
It looks cool, right?
He looks like he's gotten very serious about this battle now. All of a sudden, and that's amazing.
This Strange ain't changing attack types anymore. He's not messing around now.
He's not messing around.
Playtime's over.
All right, but there's more. There's more, Jamie. Ashtur's Refuge is up to range 3. So Ashtur's Refuge is this character or an ally character within 3. Remove up to 3 damage. Can only be used once per turn. In the past, it used to be only within 2. That's great.
That's huge. Yeah, and Doctor Strange has a medium base. So good point. He's going to have an easier time getting that heal off, which is amazing. Heal is very rare in this game. And as we sort of talked about it when we looked at Phoenix, right? The heals are amazing, and this is a really good, potent heal. So, and he's going to be swamped with power because he gets power when he rolls shields, and you know his builder now has a pierce, which means he's gaining even more power from that. So he's going to have lots more chance to use this.
That's wild. Yeah, that's really good. And then he's got 2 changes to 2 different abilities that are somewhat related. The first is that Horgoth's Hoary Wisdom can add dice to dodge rolls. So this is where he would pay 2 power, and either him or an allied within 3 could add 2 dice to their attack defense roll, but now it could also be 2 dice to their dodge rolls. And then he also gets that dodge addition to Eye of Agamotto, where he can modify and reroll skull results, but also when he's attacking, defending, or dodging, he can re-roll all of his dice. So it basically just adds even more protection ability with these 2 different superpowers.
Yeah, exactly. Hogarth's Hoary Wisdom only works on defense or dodge rolls. You said attack. But yeah, you're right. It makes like a trio. Those last 2 superpowers are just a trio of defensiveness and keeping everyone alive, right? Which in a game, by the way, when you're giving out Hex is kind of more of a long-term condition. Because like we said, it affects all of your attacks and defense rolls because you're not getting crits. You want the game to last a bit longer because you're an attrition team now. So with Doctor Strange being in the middle, making everyone a bit tankier and healing them, you're encouraging the game to last longer while you kind of wear your opponent down. So I think he works perfectly with his own leadership now.
Oh, that's a good point. All right, yeah. Okay, now this one's super exciting.
But you didn't know this character was in the game?
I've painted her. She's painted.
Oh, nice.
This is Clea. Jamie, her alter ego is Clea Strange. So what's her backstory? Is she related? Come on, Jamie, Lore Master Jamie.
No. Talk about the changes and I'll get back to you.
Because I didn't realize her surname was Strange.
Me neither. I've not even looked at this card before. I heard she was bad and never looked at her. Now I need to know exactly who she is.
I'm also going to quickly look up on Jarvis's protocol, which if you're not using, you should be using Jarvis's. She is, what's her affiliation is what I want to know. She's in Convocation, but also in Defenders. Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, she's a defender, which means that she could be playing under Doctor Strange's leadership or Daredevil's leadership, which is interesting.
Yeah, there you go. Also plays by Charlize Theron in a post-credit scene.
Oh, okay.
Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. And the Strange name, she adopted it in honor of Stephen Strange.
Oh, okay. Okay, there's more to that, but we'll have to get back to that another time.
There you go.
Okay. So Clea, lots going on. First of all, her healthy side stamina goes up to 6 from 5. So she's on a 6 on the healthy side and 5 on the backside. She's 3 threat, so that's pretty normal, which is good. Then her Icy Tendrils of Ichthalon ability changed to be easier to trigger. Okay, let's see what that means. So what that means is that this is her spender attack. She used to have a hit attack that would give a slow to the target. Sorry. So it used to be wild, and now it's hit. So that means there's 2 chances on a die for that to trigger instead of just 1. So that's one thing that's changed. The stun was used to be triggered on a wild and a hit, and that remains the same. The stagger, though, used to be requiring a hit, wild, hit, and shield. That's been reduced to just hit, wild, and crit. So basically the shield requirement has gone away. So I think the slow trigger is impactful for sure. The stagger still becomes a nice to have rather than something to be expected. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think hit trigger slow from range 4 is pretty great.
Oh yeah,
especially if you're sort of targeting someone you don't want to be able to chase you down, then hit them from range 4, and almost guaranteed slow. Right, a hit trigger on 6 dice is really likely. So that's great. And then if you get a stun, even better. And stagger is that's probably a 1 in 3 games thing, but pretty great when it comes off.
You could use Jarvis's protocol to calculate the chances of getting a crit wild hit in that roll, but we'll leave that to you as after homework. What do they call that in class? We'll leave that to you to do for your homework or your own education. Yeah, homework is. Teachers had a phrase for that. But anyway, okay. There's more. The Descendants of the Faltine superpower changed to do 2 damage to Clea if failure results are rolled. Okay, so what this does is it costs you nothing. It costs you an action though. This character gains 3 power, but then you have to roll 5 dice. If the roll contains any skull results, this character suffers 2 damage, and it can only be used once per turn. In the old days, it would only cause you 1 damage. So this is a nerf.
It would cause you 1 damage for each skull.
Oh, okay, for each skull.
The change is that it's now more predictable. So you now know going into this, there's a chance I'll suffer 2 damage, but you can't suffer more.
Right.
So, there would be times where she had 3 health left and you would accidentally just kill her because you rolled 3 skulls.
Okay.
So
I got
now
it.
you know what you're going in for.
Mm-hmm. I think that's good. That sounds really good, actually. And there's still a chance that you do no damage to yourself if you don't roll skulls.
There is a quite good chance you'll do no damage. But now at least you know the worst that can happen is you take 2. So it means you can do it a lot more reliably and not worry about losing your character.
Okay. Another superpower is called Vapors of Dormammu. That range is up to 4, where it used to be range 3. This is where you can choose yourself or another ally character within 4 and place it within 2 of its current position only once per turn. Mm-hmm. That sounds great. That seems like just a straight up buff.
Yeah, for sure. And it costs 3 power. So I think that most people will be taking Clea as a kind of lockjaw, where you just take a character to teleport your big nasty character up the board. So you just go first turn, you spend an action for Descendant of the Faltine, you gain your 3 power, you spend it to teleport someone else from range 4, you teleport them 2. So maybe Dormammu. It's called Vapors of Dormammu. You could teleport them up. And then you just go and move on a point and go grab an extract because you'll have a power left over. So I suspect that's what her round 1 job is, I think, if people are playing Clea.
Okay. The last change is she gets a brand new superpower. Boom. It's a reactive superpower called Talons of Ferala. Costs 3 power. When this character or another ally character within 4 of this attack of this character makes an attack, during the create attack dice pool step, this character can use the superpower. The attacker adds 2 dice to the attack roll. If the attack does damage and the defender has 5 threat or more, here's that new mechanic. After the attack is resolved, the defender gains the judgment special condition. Yikes.
Ooh.
And the superpower can only be used once per turn. Judgment is where when you take damage, you don't get power for the damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. This just come out of nowhere. Clea, and this is a 3 threat, let's remember.
Yeah.
And it's 3 power. So like you said, she could basically do it if she risks the, what is it called? Descendant of the Faltine.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's great. Judgment is a super powerful condition. The whole game is based around gaining power for getting beaten up, and that's how the game works. And the judgment turns that off, and it can be brutal. So yeah, I think you time this well. On a round where you're sure you're going to daze someone, and just Clea goes first, gives them judgment. Oh, sorry, she doesn't have to go. When someone else goes, Clea can help them, give them judgment with this ability. So yeah, really strong, really cool. So yeah, it's for 5 threats or more, right?
Yeah.
So it's both. So it's the attack deals damage and the defender is 5 threat or more. So this is for taking down giants.
Yeah, it's a kaiju killer.
Yeah. Who hates this? Immortal Hulk.
Why?
Because Immortal Hulk, when he dazes, he then uses all that power.
Oh yeah, because this has happened to me when I was playing iHulk. Yeah, if judgment on him is horrific because he needs all that extra power to do the healing for his flip mechanic when he flips over.
Exactly. So I think Clea works as a direct counter to that.
Interesting. So let's talk about this character in Defenders and in Convocation. Now her stats are: she's got 2 physical defense, 3 energy, and 4 mystic. She's, like I said, 6 and 5. Mm-hmm. So a bit squishy. I don't see Daredevil Defenders who wants characters to be in the thick of the enemies to be a good choice for her. Mm-hmm. Convocation, I think, is great because they've got that card. I forget what it's called, where they can use their mystic defense for physical attacks.
The books. I can't remember any Convocation.
Yes, it's a book.
It's so complicated. One of the books, Ironbound books of Shumagora, if there is.
Of course, Ironbound books, obviously. So I can see her being good there and just contributing. Doctor Strange 1 with the new version, I'm not sure. I mean, not sure as in I legitimately don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I think you're right. She suits that flavor of Defenders way more. Maybe if you see yourself, if you're taking a Defenders list where you have Daredevil and Strange as leaders, maybe if you see yourself going up against 5 threat or more characters, you go to Strange and you bring Clea to help deal with that, and you're giving out Hex and Judgment. I think that's pretty cool. I think this makes a dual Defenders list really, really fun. And really thematic as well, because you kind of pivot to the magic version of Defenders, and then you pivot to the kind of street fighting version. It's great.
Mm-hmm. And let's not forget this talents thing, even though it kind of does more to high threat characters, it still adds 2 dice to the people's attack rolls. And not just her, it could be her friends within 4, which is fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. I've also just realized, like, having Clea at the back, just constantly doing Descendant of the Faltine to give herself 3 power each time, right? That's pretty good because her powers are expensive. So you want her to have as much power as possible, but then you're risking suffering 2 damage. You could pair her up with Wong. Wong could be healing her. So she's charging up her power and Wong is healing her. So you have this like double support backline.
Yeah, the support staff in the back.
Yeah. Is that too much support? Maybe. But I mean, taking Clea, Strange, and Wong, that's kind of cool. That's a cool little trio. I like that.
Certain Fluffy. I'm sure Maria down Brighton is cheering right now.
Complication player, yeah.
She's got a throw, which is terrain or enemy character, size 2 though or less. But nonetheless, within 3 though of hers, so that's pretty good.
Yeah,
throwing it short, and she's got that place. Yeah, she seems like a real toolbox right now.
She seems great. Yeah, I think you just pray that you don't roll too many skulls on Descent of the Faltine. Even though you only suffer 2, I think you're doing that quite a lot because she has these superpowers and reactive powers. That's where she's at. I think her attacks are kind of secondary, to be honest.
And it's interesting you say that because the attacks, I'm just looking at them. Her spender obviously doesn't give her any power, and her builder is, her no-cost attack is a gainer, not a builder.
Yeah.
So she's only getting 1 power. So in the past, I think part of her problem was that she was not getting any power to do all this fun stuff.
Yeah.
Boy, that Descendants of the Faltine really changes the dynamic of this character.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, because obviously her gainer is an action and Descendant of the Faltine is an action. Mm-hmm. So if you're bringing her just for the places and the extra dice and all the superpowers that she has, you actually don't want to do her gainer at all. You just want to do Descendant of the Faltine. Oh, it's once per turn.
It's only once per turn.
Okay, fine. So you do that once and then you do a gainer once. So she's gaining 4 power a turn.
Yeah, plus she'll... If she can attack somebody, she gets 1 for that. She gets 1 in the power phase, and she gets 3 from this. So she's get 5.
Yeah.
Under ideal conditions.
Yeah.
Which doesn't allow her to do everything twice. Like her superpowers all cost 3. So first in the early game, she won't have enough to do things twice, but mid to late game, she will.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and then on Crisis, like Infinity Formula.
Oh yeah, that too.
There's a couple of them now that help you get extra power here and there. So. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Her economy, it feels like something we haven't seen before. Like a character that gains 3 and then has 3 3-cost superpowers and only gainers. It seems interesting. I really want to see her on the table. The real problem is she has 2 physical. So you're going to have games where someone just charges her and just KOs her.
Yeah, I feel like because of that, Convocation is where it's at, not Doctor Strange Defenders.
Thank you. Yeah. Cool. Well, just great, flavorful. I like seeing wizards in this game. I enjoy not playing them because when I come against them, they have lots of words on their card, and I feel like I'm actually, meeting a wizard in a sorcerer in the Marvel universe because they keep saying all these big words. Like all their tactics cards are like 5 words each, and I struggle to follow. So yeah, it feels very cool and thematic. I'm glad there's another one that we can now have on the table. I feel like Clea is basically a new character because I've never seen her in the game. Ever.
Absolutely. I think we will say her now. Fantastic. Moving on, Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme gets a slight buff. First of all, his art gets glowed up. Holy moly.
Big old buff on the art, yeah.
Ooh, look at both sides of that art. Look good. Man, I like that. And that's Patrick Bound again. We really should get him on. I wonder where he lives.
I'm going to contact
basic
him.
area. Yeah, lovely. Thank you. Big change here is just one, which is Eye of Agamotto, which is where this is similar to Doctor Strange 1. He can modify and reroll skull results, and when attacking, defending, or dodging, so that's the new addition. During dodging, whereas before it didn't count for dodging, he can reroll all of the dice. So just a little quality of life improvement on him, I think, a little bit.
This feels like he just caught a bit of the other Stranger's buff. They were like, oh, that guy, he got it, so this guy should get it too, because it's basically the same ability.
Yeah. I mean, he is tankier than Doctor Strange 1, so it's no small thing that he gets this buff, actually.
Yeah, for sure. Rerolling on dodges is great.
Yeah. Okay. He's done. Cosmic Ghost Rider. Apparently, they're saying this is his most up-to-date stat card. No additional changes were made. So where did... he's been changed a while ago. Did we not get an actual card from him? Is that what's going on here?
I think that might be it. Or maybe he was in a change on his own. So he was just like in a separate file. I think this is just housekeeping. They're just putting this file...
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nothing's changed. I just was like, maybe they just put it in errata, maybe instead of actually an actual card.
I think it was a one-off nerf. Yeah, but I've got something Ghost Rider related.
Okay.
I forgot his name. The guy who makes Java's protocol.
Hugo.
He spotted that the French translation for regular Ghost Rider, for some reason, has flight.
Oh,
so
wow! So you need to get a hold of that French card.
Yeah, so they confirmed French Ghost Rider can fly. So I've seen loads of pictures being passed around on Discord of like a Ghost Rider holding a baguette and like with a little beret on, and he's got wings. So yeah.
See now, if this were Magic or Pokemon, that card would be worth millions. And,
yeah.
Yeah. And here, not so much.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving straight on. Oh my God.
Here she is.
Oh God.
Yes, my most played character in MCP.
I heard she was doing good work for you at the Mutant Weekend.
Oh my God. She did too good. I lost the game because X23 accidentally dazed 3 people. And then they flipped, dazed her back, and then played all according to plan and KO'd her. She did too good, and I lost the game because of it. She's amazing. X23 is my favorite character.
All right, so let us talk about, she has two interesting changes. One's easier to understand. She used to have adamantium skeleton as an innate superpower, which is basically, even though she's size 2, she was treated as size 3 when she was trying to be thrown or thrown into things. That's just gone away. They've removed that.
Yeah,
Okay.
they've read the comics and realized she never had a skeleton. She only
Is that right?
She only has claws and like a toe claw.
Yeah, she had the toe claw,
She doesn't have skeleton, so yeah.
Good
job, AMG. We've updated it. We fixed it. Fixed the law.
Lore's the thing. All right. Here's the important one, which is the one that caught a lot of people out until it got quite a bit of attention during a errata document change or whatever, and everybody was annoyed by it, even though she was still quite good. What I'm alluding to is her frenzy ability. Go ahead, Jamie. Tell us what changed.
Yes, so Frenzy had an awkward timing. And actually, let's couple this up with Angela, because it's exactly the same change.
Yeah, okay, good point. So Angela had Angelic Assassin is the name of her superpower, but more or less has the same buff to it.
Yeah, exactly the same change. So basically before, it was at an awkward timing step. So when you made an attack, let's say you had 0 power, and then you do a builder into someone and daze or KO them, you then gain 2 power for dazing them, and you would think that you can then spend that power to go and do a frenzy, but you couldn't. It was at an awkward timing step. They've now changed that, so you can. So it's after the attack's resolved, which is a much more familiar trigger that we all know about. So basically, now you can. If you daze someone and that attack gets you 2 power, you can then use Frenzy or Angelic Assassin to make another attack.
Whereas before you had to have 2 in the bank already before the attack was resolved.
It was really awkward, and I bet 50% of people played it wrong because it's just awkward.
Yeah.
Nothing else in the game
It doesn't make sense.
thing.
I mean, everything else is supposed to work that way. And so maybe that helps Angela. I don't think so, to be honest with you. I mean, the rest of her kit more or less is the same, and so that's not going to change terribly much. And that was a nice to have on her. But on X-23, I think the frenzy is quite important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. She can do a lot with power. And I mean, I don't know the last time, maybe because I'm used to playing around it, but I don't know the last time this really got in the way. But it's definitely a buff. It's definitely a buff. And the loss of Adamantium Skeleton is also a buff, because if you're playing her with Honey Badger, which I do quite a lot, you're now not punished for having her thrown into your friends.
Okay, right. As much, anyway.
As much. Oh yeah, it still hurts, but it doesn't hurt more than it should.
Okay, here's a guy that I actually was getting a lot of work out of this past weekend at the Mutant Weekender. Yeah, Heimdall. Swapped him into my Asgard list. Spoilers, he's still a problem when he doesn't have power, but if you play him right, he can get power more often, and then he's actually quite good. And he was MVP in one of my games, as a matter of fact. Yeah. So what's changed on him is he has a reactive superpower called All-Seeing Eyes, costs you 2 power. And basically, when an ally character within used to be 3, but now it's 4. So it's been buffed up to 4 range. When that character is attacking, defending, or dodging during the modified dice step, you can pay the 2 power, and then the ally character can reroll 2 of its dice. You can also reroll 2 dice if you are using those dice for a crisis card ability or a team tactics card ability. So basically, it's just increased the range of him, which is really good because his action economy is pretty bad. It doesn't exist really. And so getting him onto a point where he's going to be holding that point, hopefully with an extract in hand, he could still affect the game around him more because of the increased range of that superpower.
Yeah. I think you've nailed it. You're the Asgard Pro now.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
great
range
art
4.
from Patrick Bound again on the injured side, being really nice.
Looks awesome. Yeah, really cool. I love the idea of Heimdall being able to see across, I don't know how far it is, I don't know what the lore is, but he can basically see, everything, right? And right, well, that isn't range 3, that's range 4.
Yeah, that really helps him a lot, honestly.
It's kind of fun. But yeah, no, that's great.
In his job.
Also worth mentioning that at the event we just ran at the weekend, Chloe Clegg won Best Painted for Small Base Model, which was a Heimdall with a big old flag that she had modded onto it. So
didn't know that.
Hope we see more Heimdall on the table.
Okay, now Bishop. Ooh, another one of your boys on here. He's had one change, which I think is small but important. It's Overload. Overload updated its timing to the cleanup phase. So it says here, Overload is an innate superpower. During the cleanup phase, if this character has 8 or more power, it suffers 1 damage. I just wanted to look, unless you know, what it used to be.
Yeah, it was exactly the same.
It was the start of the power phase.
It was in the
used
power
to be.
phase. Yeah, super punishing. It was if you messed up, or actually what it was if your opponent beat up Bishop and knew about this ability, and the Bishop was alive on 1, they were incentivized to not hit him anymore because he will kill himself in the power phase and then he misses an entire round. It was super punishing, really, really not cool. So yeah, that's now in the cleanup phase. So he'll just explode in the cleanup phase and then immediately flip and get to play next round.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And we've seen this kind of change in the past as well, and it's always much better.
I think they're slowly making their way through the game to change this so that there's no more damage in the power phase because it's just so punishing. There's lots of people crying out for Dormammu. Dormammu is not in this dock, and his whole leadership damages you in the power phase.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe this is a hint towards that happening one day.
Yeah, possibly. But I mean, that leadership is pretty bonkers. Otherwise,
great leadership. Yeah.
So maybe that's by design, and that's okay. But yeah,
that'd be all right.
Okay. Is this new art for Bishop?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
he's a newish character. So
yeah, but still Patrick Brown though.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another exciting one. Colossus.
Oh, this is a lot of changes. Mega buff. This is huge.
Wow. Now remember, Colossus is in X-Men, X-Force, and Apocalypse, which is the important one. Oh, and
Brotherhood.
Also Brotherhood. Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. Okay. I've just called up his old card, which is important because I didn't understand all these changes without seeing both. All right, let's start. The first one is Strike Concussive Force ability. Is been replaced with Push. Okay, what does that mean? So
Concussive Force, mostly seen as the worst trigger in the game.
So his old card was his Strike, which is his normal builder, range 2, 5 dice. He had a wild concussive force trigger. After the attack resolved, the target character loses 1 power. That does seem pretty damn lame. I mean, it's nice, but it's like, whatever.
It's fine, but whatever, yeah.
Now, the wild turns into a push. Before damage is dealt, if the character is size 4 or less, it can be pushed short. That, first of all, feels very much more what like Colossus is doing.
Oh, yeah.
And seems also a lot better as terms of a game mechanic.
Yeah, size 4 push. Fantastic.
Yeah. Any direction, I might add?
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. Then his X-Slam ability. So this is his spender attack. The stagger ability has been replaced with a throw. So it used to be on a wild, you would stagger the target. Now on the wild, you throw the defender a size 4 or less short. Again, any direction. I feel like, of course, this is a bit of a nerf. Stagger is always really great, but is still good. And also, again, still seems more thematic.
Yeah, 100%. He's always throwing people around in the comics.
Yeah. Is that right?
Stagger, yeah, always. That's his whole thing. I mean, he loves throwing people, friends and enemies. I think we know how when we review characters, normally we say the whole 3-7-3 thing on the spender. So like range 3, 7 dice, 3 power. That's the standard. This gives guaranteed stun and a wild size 4 throw any direction. I think this is above the curve. This breaks our kind of 3-7-3 rule.
Well, in what sense?
In terms of like 3-7-3 is kind of the standard, and then you normally get like a cute little like wild trigger. The wild trigger here is fantastic. Size 4 throw any direction is really, really good. That's at the high end of goodness. And then you also get a guaranteed stun. All of that for 3 power, I think is amazing. This ruins Asgardians, right? Asgard hates stun, and they don't want to be thrown around. If you imagine, this is just 3 power to guarantee stun Thor, and then maybe throw him away as well. Yeah. That's so good.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, that is a good point. And forgot about the stun being automatic. So that's really good. And this guy gets power quite easily, remarkably. So his X-Slams happen a lot.
Does he? How does he get the power?
I don't know. Somehow he's always doing X-Slams to me.
It's because you keep punching him. Stop punching him.
Maybe. But he's usually holding an extract is the problem.
Right, yeah. Well, maybe that's key. Yeah. I mean, we'll get onto it, but he needs a lot of power. So maybe that's what you do now with Colossus. You grab an extract and go, come on in, beat me up. Because I'm going to spend my power really well against you.
Okay, now, this one's exciting. His old card has a reactive superpower called Big Brother, which costs 2. Okay? That stays the same. But the old ability was when an enemy character within 2 of this character targets another allied character with an attack, it can use a superpower. This character becomes the target of the attack, regardless of range and line of sight. So essentially, taunt. This is a taunt, which is quite standard. So not and sensible for him, thematic. Everything seems fine, right? Not the greatest thing in the world, but good. Because, Bodyguard is better than
Bodyguard
Taunt.
is better, and he lost that. This is his third change, and he lost it. Yeah.
So what's changed, Jamie? Let's see. So first of all, it's still a taunt for 2 power, but the enemy character can be within 4 this time. All right. So if the enemy character that is attacking one of his friends is within 4 instead of just 2, you can use the ability. Now, depending on how far away that attacking character is, different things happen. If it's within 2, just like before, of the attacking character, if this character, Colossus, is within 2 of the attacking character, it's taunt again. He becomes the target of the attack. So no changes there. Okay. However, if you're outside of 2 of Colossus, then after nothing happens. You conduct the attack as normal, but then Colossus can advance towards the attacking character short. So it's a taunt plus an attraction ability. I don't know what you might call it. What do you think this does for him?
It's certainly interesting. The problem with taunt is that it's so easily counterable by you just leaving range 2. So this helps that, right? The problem is you still have to pay 2 for it. So you now need 4 power to get in and then taunt the next attack.
Yeah.
But it's definitely nice. And, Colossus struggled historically with being in the right place at the right time. He went from a slow move to a medium move. Now he's got this to add more movement. So yeah, it's pretty cool. My only worry is it requires quite a lot of power.
Mm-hmm. That's true. But at least even if he uses it only once, he can still position himself better somehow.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is something that we need to see on the table, because just giving, out of activation movement is just really important, especially now his attacks are good. He might not be able to taunt someone, but he can move in, and then maybe he's in range to then attack them next round, and now he's got much better attacks with his pushes and throws. So yeah, it could be cool. It's also range 4, which is nice. So in New Mutants, which he isn't affiliated to, fix that, AMG. He should be a New Mutant because he's Magic's brother, and this ability is called Big Brother. But in New Mutants, their leadership lets you, basically teleport to an ally that's just been attacked from range 3. So he could use this at range 4, move into range 3, and then after the attack's resolved, he can teleport in using leadership, which is really cool. So yeah, I think this is very interesting and needs a lot of play time to really figure out how to use it. But I think it makes him very, very, very good.
So now he was already quite good in Apocalypse in his old form. So why do you think they felt the need to make these changes?
I think the reason he's good in Apocalypse is because they gave him the extra, job, which was handing out conditions as Pestilence. So his job was to be tanky, jump into a group of people, and then just, spew out conditions. So I think that's what made him good. Nothing on his card was really needed in Apocalypse. This makes him good. His card is good now, I think. So he'll now work much better in, X-Men, X-Force, New Mutants. He should be affiliated. But
what about Brotherhood?
New Mutants. Brotherhood is, it's fine. He'll get extra power in Brotherhood under Magneto, which is nice. Mystique wants characters to be able to hold on to extracts, and which he can do because he's pretty tanky. So yeah, I think this just makes him all around better. It's obviously a huge buff for Apocalypse because now, this kind of dumb medium base that was just being used as Pestilence is now also good on their own. So it's a huge Apocalypse buff.
Yeah, I would say so. Ooh, speaking of which, we have a Magic up next. Wow, yeah. Magic. Much maligned. Hard box to get a hold of these days. Go figure.
Yeah. For now, they're bringing out the starter box, right, with her in, I think.
Yes,
or
that's
are
right.
they? Have I made that up? There'll be boxes. They've already said there'll be boxes with these characters in.
Yeah. Okay, so Magic, what changes? She, the healthy side stamina goes up to 6 from 5. Her injured size remains at 5. And the Bolts of Ashtur has added Hex ability. So Bolts of Ashtur is her second type of zero-cost attack. It's energy, range 4 dice. It's a gainer. She gets a power after the attack is resolved. But now, on a crit wild, instead of it... what did it used to be? Hang on. Magic. I'm sure somebody's already shouting in their screen. Did she... Oh, this is interesting. How come the order of the attacks changed on her card?
I think it's just because builders tend to be at the top. I think that's all it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it just seems like her card was always weird. the range 2 was after the range 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just assume that's the formatting thing.
It's interesting. Okay, sorry. So Bolts of Ushtor, it stays exactly the same as it used to, whereas where she gets it's a gainer where she gets a power after the attack resolved. However, it just straight up gets a new ability. On a crit wild trigger, she gets Hex. So after the attack resolved, the defender gains the Hex ability. So just makes that attack a little bit more worthwhile to use. Because I often never used it. It was always about the Soul Sword and hopefully a Dark Child.
Yeah, I only ever use it because in New Mutant, she's my leader. So I want her stood at the back giving off this gainer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this helps. I mean, the problem is the trigger's ridiculous. A crit wild, like it doesn't get any worse than that, really.
Yeah, that's
like,
really hard.
That's
You're
crazy.
Right.
It's basically not going to happen. It's like maybe once a game if you're lucky kind of thing. And like you said, you don't really want to use this attack for the most part. Soul Sword is really cool. Dark Child's amazing. So yeah, I'm questioning the trigger. It's basically not going to happen.
Yeah,
but pretty cool.
So the big thing is that she's always been known as a squishy character, and now she gets a bit of stamina. So not so great. A little bit of a buff, but not the end of the world. The other thing she gets is she's immune to incinerate now, which seems more fluffy than anything, but certainly helps keep her alive.
It's cute. Yeah, would have liked this while Demons Downtown was in the game, but it's not. So yeah, it's cute. This is cute. I think it's not that. It doesn't really change her much.
Yeah, that's okay though.
Nice.
I think it's enough.
It's enough. It's a nice little tweak. Yeah, I mean the artwork is the best buff about this. She looks great.
Yeah, she's been at the gym for sure.
She was really cool.
Keep it up, lady. Oh, right. No, this is controversial. Ooh. A lot of mutants I've noticed in this document.
I'm going to stay positive because that's what we said we'd do across the Bifrost, Norbert.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there are some aspects of this that's interesting. So we're talking about a Nightcrawler, of course. Okay. What happens to Nightcrawler? He has updated timing in Teleporting Strike and Brimstone Blitz. And I'd like to get your opinion about this because I looked very carefully at the Brimstone Blitz thing and I didn't see a change.
Yeah. Well, I can save some time. There's basically no change.
Okay, so that's just an error in the document.
No. There is a change. So they've changed the wording. It's it used to be after damage is dealt, and now it's after the attack's resolved. It's basically the same thing. It's just cleaner wording.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, so let's do this properly. So Teleporting Strike makes sense. I mean, it's basically the aha ability. It says after the attack is resolved, if it dealt damage and the character is not within 2 of the defender gains the stunned special condition.
So that's the part that's changed.
That's changed. So before it used to be after damage is dealt, period. So meaning
so hold on. So basically the change here is you now need to deal damage to do the stun.
Yeah, exactly. You have to do damage. Whereas before it just was after that step, whether you did damage or not.
Yeah.
So you have to do damage to get that stun to happen, which is it's a downer. I mean that's
it's a very harsh nerf on this character. I'm not gonna lie, and they didn't mention it in their article. So people are wondering if it's a typo. I don't think it is because guaranteed stun, it was probably the best part of his kit. You know, the guaranteed stun, as long as you're outside of range 2 is fantastic on this character. It completely neuters like your big kaiju monsters.
Yeah.
But I think X-Men players, myself included, thought that was cool because X-Men don't really have any kaijus, you know, Dark Phoenix aside. Sorry, not Dark Phoenix, Phoenix Unleashed aside. But yeah, so it seems people are questioning this one. It seems unnecessarily harsh.
I agree. I don't think he was blowing things up so badly that like this came out of nowhere. Let's put it that way. I think everybody was fine with Nightcrawler. But look, Jamie, I'm looking at Brimstone Blitz and the words look exactly the same. Although the article says it had updated timing. Am I crazy?
After the attack's resolved, go back to the other card. I think it's after damage. No, that's the same. Brimstone Blitz is the same.
Yeah. So there's an error in the article.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, the fact that they missed the stun damage trigger in the article suggests maybe they didn't know. I don't know. Maybe there was a mix-up there, a miscommunication.
Okay.
But the card we have now, yeah. I mean, I think also Invisible in Shadow, have they updated that wording? It's not that interesting. It's just...
Oh, did they?
I think they added stealth. So stealth is a keyword now.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's real boring stuff. But yeah, basically, players were saying it, and the card said something else.
No, that is a big deal, honestly. So, and that's not in the article. So that's a good shout. Thank you, Jamie. That's good. That's a good spot. So the new version of him says specifically he gains stealth. Why that's important is because the old version says you just have to be within 3 of him to target with attacks. Why is that important? Because there are some abilities out in the game which ignore stealth, and and hence his old card didn't say it was stealth. It was just you had to be within 3, and so you couldn't ignore that. But now you can.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, it makes sense and it's tidier. Storm still has her fancy stealth,
right,
which can't be ignored.
Right.
Nightcrawler doesn't, but it makes sense because a character that can ignore stealth is Daredevil, right? Am I right in thinking that?
Yeah, possibly. There's other ones. So there's things like shield throws. I think Captain America's Sam's throw does things like that.
Yeah, I like a thematic change like that. Yeah, so Daredevil's baton hook ignores the stealth superpower, which I really like because, Nightcrawler's hiding in shadows. That's not going to affect Daredevil. He can still hear him. So, hit him.
Yeah.
So I like that. It's cool. So just kind of tidy up stuff. But yeah, it's strange. I don't know. Maybe this was a late addition to the errata, but the article doesn't seem to be aware of some of the changes. And people are questioning why he got nerfed like that on the builder when we have a Shang-Chi running around who can do the same effect.
Yes, good point. Yeah.
He has to pay for it, 1 power. But yeah, round 1, Shang-Chi can move, range 3 attack, pay 1 and stun someone guaranteed. So seems a shame that Nightcrawler got hit with that, but we'll see.
Okay. Next one up is Ancient Venom. This one seems to be more of a just cleaning up the wording kind of a thing. It's Project Rebirth 2.0. It is essentially the same, but before it used to say it removes a special condition, and now it says the character immediately makes a shake action. So functionally, I don't think that makes a difference. It's just that now it's written in a way that makes sense within the rules.
Yeah, I guess it means that new players can look up shake action in the core rulebook and be like, oh, cool, that's that.
Yeah, cool. All right, moving right along. Gambit. Quite a few things have changed here. These all have been revealed at Adepticon as part of the kind of the spoilers that came through there. I'll read them down really quickly. Kinetic Ace, which is his second type of attack, it goes down to 4 strength only instead of 5 that it used to have, and also its type changed from physical to energy. On the other hand, the 52 card pickup spender changed. The ability changed and the power cost down to 2. So we have to look him up to see what were the actual changes here. Unless you remember off the top of your head.
The Gambit changes. I mean, the main thing is the wild count 2, right?
Yeah. So it used to be a beam for 5 dice for 4 power. Mm-hmm. And with a wild, you could count each wild in the attack roll as 2 successes. Okay. Now it is beam for 5 dice, so that stays the same, but only 3 power, so it goes down by 1 power. And that counting double wilds doesn't happen anymore. Instead, if you roll 2 wilds, the defender gains stun. Okay. So that sounds like a little bit of a nerf, but he's got another ability that he's been added called Enhanced Agility. No.
The card's always been my favorite, yeah.
Yeah, the card's always been my favorite. Go ahead, tell us.
So when his character is attacking, defending, or dodging, each wild counts as 2. So it's been taken from his spender and just put on his card.
Yeah, so it means all of his attacks benefit from that, all of his defense benefits from that, and all the dodges benefit from that.
Yeah, pretty cool. It's a shame it's not when interacting because he is a thief. So it kind of makes sense for him to, like, on pay to flips, wilds count as double, which I think is kind of cute. But I think people are scared of X-Men being better at pay to flips for some reason. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I think this takes some kind of dice maths knowledge to understand the full extent of, but people that are smarter than us, Norbert, are saying that this is really, really good. So let's go with that.
Yeah, seems really good. He does have a enhanced agility change. After an attack targeting this character is resolved, may use the superpower. The attacking character suffers 1 damage, and then this character may advance short, where before you had to advance away from the attacking character short.
Yeah.
So it just gives you more flexibility.
Yeah, really cool. Especially with his range being range 3. There are times where you might want to move towards someone hitting you so you can hit them back. Pretty cool. People
seem really thrilled by this. Certainly, APOC was using him nicely before, and now is going to use him even more effectively.
Yeah, because they give him the famine hop, right? He can place 2, so he's way more influential. And now he's just like pinging attacks off, and wilds count as 2. He's really consistent.
Yeah. So what about his use, though, in his other affiliations, which are Brotherhood and X-Men?
Well, I really want to try him in X-Men. I really want to try him under Cyclops. Because in theory, he can push damage through quite reliably, and Cyclops needs everyone to be constantly pinging damage. So I think that's pretty cool. And Brotherhood, I don't know. Do they need him? Maybe not. I think we need to see him on the table. Really, he's kind of he's a back point sitter that, you know, when approached might go off. And it's kind of hard to find an affiliation that really needs someone like that. So I don't know. Yeah, he's fun, and I think he's a lot more flavorful now. And obviously, everybody considers him now to be in Steve 3 Avengers, where you can pay a power to change a dice to a wild that counts as 2, and then you can also use a little something extra to get another wild. So he becomes pretty crazy under that leadership.
Now, you haven't used him before this because of the way he was designed, correct?
I tried him a couple times, but yeah, no good.
Cool. All right.
I want to play him now.
Yeah, I bet you do. All right, cool. We should have mentioned that all these errata seem to be in effect straight away. There's no date on this document. So I think it's in effect immediately, which is fun because we have UK Games Expo in just about a week.
Yeah.
Cool. 2 characters left to go. Next one is Toad.
What do you think of his artwork?
Oh, yeah. People who said that they don't like this one so much.
It's kind of weird. I think because he looks like a normal dude with a massive tongue, whereas before he looked like a little mutant kid.
Let me see. I'll look at his old art because I'd say it's fine. Like if I hadn't.
Like, he looks cool.
Yeah. Okay. The first one makes him look a little more like a insect or something. Yeah, I could see.
He's too good looking. It's Patrick Brown being too good at what he does. He's made everyone too good looking.
Yeah. Carlos Cabrera did the first artwork, and this is Pat Brown. He just doesn't do ugly.
Yeah, doesn't do ugly.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him about that on the show.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, the art looks fine. It's just, you're right. He just looks like too nice. It's just, okay. Anyway, Toad, healthy side stamina goes from 5 hit points down to 4, but his injured side stamina goes up from 3 to 4. This is pretty standard for a 2 threat, so shouldn't be a big deal, except that it really changes his dynamic about being able to weather an attack with an extract and then slippery away.
Yeah, that's the key thing is having, with his 5 health, you basically had to, especially round 1, because he's always grabbing extra at round 1, you basically had to do 5 damage in your first attack, or he's going to slippery away and you're not going to see him for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So they've made that a bit easier for him to pull off. For you to pull off, to, you know, now you have to deal 4 damage to him.
Now, on the other hand, he's also got a bit more longevity potentially because, okay, he'll drop the extract when you daze him, but now you have to do the same amount of damage to him again on the injured side, whereas before he was quite easy to kill. Yeah,
I really like it. He's more relevant now on his injured side because with
exactly.
3 health, any size 2 throw can just kill him. Mm-hmm. So now he's got 4 health, and I actually really like it. I think it's fair. Him losing 5 on his healthy is a nerf, but it's a buff on the injured side. He's now relevant on both sides, which is great.
Right.
A really nice nuanced change, I think,
because it kind of evens it out, his effect on the table.
Yeah, for sure.
The other thing, though, is definitely a nerf, which is interesting because maybe it was too much for this guy, considering his job, which is like an extract runner. His tongue lash, which is his normal builder, it had a wild trigger which would push you, but now it is changed to just getting poison.
Just poison, yeah. This is controversial because I think Will Schick was on a podcast and said that this wasn't happening, said that this was changing to a push towards, and it's been changed to a poison, which is a big, big nerf.
Yeah.
But fair, because, a 2-threat character having this much scoring potential when he was pushing people off points was too much. And I say that as someone who played him in nearly every roster I run. So yeah, fair, definitely a nerf. It makes his job only extracts now, I think. Well, it definitely does. Sorry, it definitely does, because he can pay to flip maybe, but he can't push people off points. So I think now his entire job is grab an extract, survive for the rest of the game, and it's that simple.
Yeah, I think you might have alluded to it though, but he's got the interact within 2 ability still.
Yeah.
So pay to flips are still kind of a thing for him.
Yeah, they're not bad. I actually played that a lot at the weekend, having him kind of on the sideline and influencing 2 paid flips a turn. Was pretty cool. I'm surprised. I think a lot of people are surprised that he still has hop, still has slippery. Like those are amazing abilities. So yeah, he is like Bullseye. He's still the best 2-threat in the game for scoring points. So I'm glad they've kind of let him keep this niche. And now we've seen Spider-Ham, right? He's a 2-threat who can't hold extracts. Really,
Right.
he can hold extracts. Sorry, but he drops them really easily whenever he takes any damage. So I think they're happy with Toad being the kind of extract expert, and that's where he is now.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, cool. Last character is Carnage out of nowhere. Cool.
Yeah.
Woo. Carnage, the healthy side stamina goes from 7 up to 8, which is good because he's got very bad defenses apart from physical, which is actually very good defense. And Paint the Town Red is updated. So I got to look that up again because that doesn't help us very much, does it?
Yeah, let me talk about the health then. So
Please.
I think 8 health is enormous for a 4-threat. And it's really funny because it kind of, again, challenges your opponent to like, you got to deal with this. And if you don't deal with it, he's going to come back at you because he's got, we won't go into it too much because it's basically the same as before, but his attacks heal himself, like he's got, what is the, oh, hang on. Maybe I'm confused. I don't play enough Carnage, but basically he has a way of attacking you and healing from the damage dealt. So you really need to finish the job.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that's kind of his thing. Where is it that it says that though?
Paint the Town Red is where it happens.
Okay, so so this is what's changed. So let's read the old version first. Paint the Town Red was a reactive superpower for 3 power. And if this character dazes or KOs an enemy character with an attack during its activation, this character may use the superpower. After the attack resolved, this character advances short, removes all damage from itself, and then makes a symbiote tendrils attack, which is like his normal builder. It can only be used once per turn. Okay, cool. So basically, it rewards you for dazing or KOing a character. You can move short and remove all the damage on yourself. And make another attack, actually. So yeah, you basically keep going. You do kind of like a frenzy in a sense, where you can do another attack. All right, what does it change to? Let's see. Paint the Town Red stays the same, reactive and 3 power. If this character dazes or KOs an enemy character with an attack during his activation, after that attack is resolved, this character may use the superpower. So all that's the same. This character removes all damage from itself. That's the same. Advances short, that's the same. Makes a symbiote tendrils attack, that's the same. But it adds 2 dice to the attack roll. It can only be used once per turn. So everything's the same except that the symbiote attack goes from only 5 dice to 7 dice. Why do you think, surely that makes this superpower better, obviously, but is that it? Is it just so that your next attack is big?
That's good too, right? 2 extra dice, you're kind of snowballing once you've dazed someone. But I think the key thing here is it removes all damage, and now he's got that extra health on his healthy side. That the potential for that is huge. Because you basically, again, it's a challenge you're laying down to your opponent. You need to daze him, because if you don't, he's going to activate, and then if he dazes you, he's going to heal all the damage you did. So say you did 7 damage to this guy, and then he dazes one of your characters, he just pays 3 and heals everything.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's all damage. Doesn't matter.
It removes all damage, which means having a higher ceiling means the potential of this superpower is just huge.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. I think that this character feels like just a big swing of a character.
Yeah.
You're going to put him on the table, and some games he's just going to die and then KO, and nothing's going to happen. Just daze KO, he's not going to achieve anything, and you're going to be sad. But then maybe 1 in 3 games, he's just going to survive on 1 or 2, and then he's going to daze someone, paint the town red, heal everything, hit someone else with 7 dice this time, and he's going to go off. It's crazy. It's a big swing of a character. I think when you're playing him, just expect that sometimes it won't work. See him as a Spider-Foes character. You've got this grand plan, and sometimes it'll go off and be great, and sometimes it won't work.
Yeah, so he's in Spider-Foes only. Which leader do you think he wants to be with? So I'm looking at Sinister Scientist, Doc Ock 2. Once per turn after attack targeting all allied characters resolved, if the character is not dazed, it gains 1 power. Additionally, if it suffers damage, it can remove a special condition from itself. That's okay.
It's a defensive-y, crisis-y kind of leadership, which I don't think it's not Carnage's job.
Yeah, I was going to say, I had a feeling Green Goblin was where he's at, but I wanted to double check, and I'm reading all this, and I'm like, all that stuff is nice for him, for sure, but doesn't really switch anything on for him or anything like that. So let's take a look at Green Goblin, which people don't play very much.
Green Goblin's a character I'm surprised to have not seen in this errata. He's he's close to being amazing. A little tweak, but yeah, anyway, let's not get into that.
His leadership is once per turn when an ally character is attacking during the modify opponent's dice step, it may re-roll one opposing defense die. Now see, that makes more sense for Carnage, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it's going to help him get his kit off. So I think. So wait, that sounded bad. It's going to help him get off the tricks that he's trying to pull with Carnage. So yeah, because it's helping you push damage through. Right. So yeah, I think that's great. If you like Green Goblin, Carnage is great. Also, it's worth mentioning, Carnage is 5/1/1 on defenses. Yep. There are going to be some games where your opponent has mostly physical attacks. Just play Carnage then, and he's pretty safe actually. Yeah. I remember I used to play a lot of Brotherhood when I first started playing against our local player Tom, who loved Carnage, and it was horrible because it was before I had Pyro, so I only had Magneto, Juggernaut, Mystique, and Quicksilver, and I was just putting physical attacks into him, and I just couldn't hurt him. So the right matchup, if you're smart, you can take Carnage in, and he's super safe, and will get to do his job. But if you go against a Guardians or a Convocation, he's not going to last long. So no. I think if you like Carnage, put him in your 10 and just wait for the right moment to play him. He's not an everyday model.
I'm just looking. He's got an innate superpower where the defender against his attacks doesn't get to explode crits. Oof.
Yeah.
It's like a built-in hex.
Yeah, he's got hex on his own. That's pretty cool. So I mean, he's a big swing of a character. He's all offense, and sometimes it's going to work, and then other times you're.
Yeah, but he was always like that.
Yeah.
But now I think he can do it more reliably, which is
for sure.
Better.
They've added more offense to a very offensive character. So
yeah, brilliant. That brings us to the end of the document, my friend.
There you go. Cool. Good job, man.
All good
For
stuff.
those that don't know, Norbert recorded an 1.5 hour episode before this, talking to Pat Dunford, and then the errata dropped in the middle of it, and he's back on. We're at 10:30 at night, and you've been podcasting for about 3.5 hours.
It's way past my bedtime.
You've done very well. I'm proud of you. Well done.
Thank you. I hope everybody enjoyed this little quick update. I think it's all good for the game, and we're excited about it. And if you read the transmission article, they mentioned that because they're repackaging characters into affiliation boxes now, after a few of those repackages happen, they will release another one of these character updates. They basically are going to polish every character that goes into affiliation box, if they need it, on a more regular basis, which is great news for the game.
Yeah, it's cool. And it's just even more reason to keep sharing your thoughts about the game online so that, people can see it, so we can see it.
In a respectful manner.
Oh, yeah. Never complain, just notes,
Yeah.
Just make notes. Isn't it strange how Colossus isn't a new mutant? That's strange, Just nice little polite comments like that. And it's important to keep talking about the game, and, hopefully we can see more of these changes, bringing life to an already very balanced game, by the way. This is just bringing, more good stuff to a good game.
Okay, and I want to quickly end by you pay me some compliments. We're going to also pay compliments to our producer, Hannah, who is going to burn the midnight oil to get this produced and released as soon as possible. So thank you, Hannah.
There we go.
Cool. Is that it?
That's it.
Until next time, cheers and happy gaming.